Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd Podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. So, I had Tom Brady on this week. Yeah, Tommy was good. He was good. And he's really, I found people like Tom because everybody wants a piece of Tom. Like when you get to that big, and I know somebody that knows President Barack Obama, former president, pretty well, and it's the same trait. They both have the same trait, is that everybody wants a picture. Everybody wants to say hi. I remember this game.
Is he the most famous NFL player ever? By a wide margin, you think, at this point in time?
I think so. Yeah. Tom is really very, very normal. And it's really interesting how efficient he is in social situations. Like he meets you, it's eye to eye. He responds, very cordial, very human, very personable. And then, he is escorted, didn't come with a big entourage, but it was really interesting to watch him. Tom is a highly functional, very normal, really incredibly thoughtful guy. And as I sat there for the interview, he has a personality trait that I've always admired in people. Anything you ask Tom about football, anything. I was throwing these goofy theories I have. Oh, he's thought about it. And I've said this before in my life. A couple of the people that are involved with the volume, and one of the reasons I was always impressed with people that I included in this company is when you ask somebody about, media, and they have an answer. Because I'm obsessed by not just sports, but by the business of sports. And so I think about stuff all the time that I don't talk about, but I just think about it. And it was really impressive to me that Brady, I'm throwing zany theories at him, and Tom's he's thought of everything. And I think he'll be a very good broadcaster. Like a player, I think he'll just get better and better and better and better because he's very hard on himself. Did you take anything away from the interview? That was kind of my take, that Tom's just literally thought of everything.
Well, it's about 120 degrees here, so I was in the pool a couple hours ago. And you have a lot of time in the pool. You're just kind of thinking. I was thinking about the most famous athletes, I would say, the last 25 years. You obviously, Michael would probably be number one. Tiger would be right up there.
Yeah.
And I think both those, even what LeBron is now, they do struggle when they're just in a situation like that to feel relatable. I mean, Michael never has. Tiger's gotten a little better, I think, with his child. He can be a little calmer. LeBron is just in his own little world just because that's the way it's been for 20 plus years. I would put Peyton in this category too. Both those two guys can be in a situation like that, and you go, I'd like to have a beer with that guy. And
that's how I felt.
You would never say that about Michael Jackson or Leonardo DiCaprio, like the level of fame. And Tom's higher than Peyton, but is it crazy? And I've always said that Tom and Peyton were the Magic and Larry of my generation, what they meant for the NFL. And Tom's just a very, very unique person. It's just to sit like that. I looked at some of the YouTube comments because I watched the interview on YouTube, and everyone was like, how likable is this guy? And I think it gets back to the sport, how, one, he went to whatever the highest level of education is in America. He went to the equivalent in New England for 20 years with Bill. I mean, should any of us be shocked that all those former Patriots, when you hear them talk football, can do it at a really high level? From Matt Light to Edelman to even Gronk when he's not screwing around. I mean, they've just been inundated with this, but they were all held in the same level. And there's a humility because you didn't have a choice. And most of their teams were not super stacked. The teams that were didn't win the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, their core, Julian Edelman was their best wide receiver. Like, Julian Edelman, I love the guy, but he's never going to Canton or anything. And I just think Tom, it gets back to his family, how he was grown up. This is what people are looking for. Obviously, his success, you're not looking for that when you draft a player, but his love of football, how good he is with other people, how much he cares. Like, these traits that he displays, and Peyton does this too, is like everything you look for when you draft a player. I mean, he's the highest level. He's like the Mensa, whatever it becomes. But I just find him very easy to listen to. And let's face it, most people that are like Michael Jordan is not like that, right? Because
Right.
usually, how could Tom relate to anybody? But he is able
Yeah.
to do that. He transitioned to Tampa. And it was like everyone loved him. It was like the practice squad guys, like he's taking pictures with my kid. The star players are like, he's the coolest guy we've ever been around. It's just a trait that not many people have. I think Mahomes clearly has that. They have that going in Kansas City right now, where everyone,
Yes.
obviously, some people make more money, some people have more fame. Travis Kelce has it. I know he does. I mean, the way that they view him, and it's just
think about Mahomes' life. He's got a brother that makes the news. He's got a wife
who wants to be a star.
He's got young kids. He's the best football player on the planet. He's the face of a franchise. He's got 38 endorsements, and he is just in a good mood. I mean, you watch him on that Netflix thing. He is able to compartmentalize shit like I've never seen in my life. Some people, John, just have it. Mahomes has got wackiness and neediness and maintenance around him. None of it bothers him.
You know, the other thing is, college football, once you get to like Ohio State this year, over under in their regular season, how many tight games they're going to be in? When you put it at probably like 2, like they're going to be so much better. Or
Right.
Georgia, they might be in 2 or 3
Yes.
big games. In the NFL,
Right.
and Tom has been saying this for 25 years, and every player does, you better come correct every single week. Like, I don't get to just mail it in. Obviously, with that franchise, how hard Bill was on everybody, but you will get beat by a 4-win team beats a couple playoff teams, right? So when Tom was talking about how serious he prepared, he never knew. He never take an opponent lightly. He never took a series off. Like, you got to be careful. And the preparation that you were ready for in the first quarter might not show till late in the game, and all of a sudden you're tied against a 4-win team. And it might be on Monday Night Football. It might be their Super Bowl. And I think that's what the NFL has that the other sports don't. Like, I'm playing the Lakers in February, win or lose, whatever. Who cares? And in fairness, they got 82 games. Or baseball. Every baseball game tonight, we're recording this on Thursday. Do any of them matter? Do any of them actually matter today's games? They just don't.
No.
But every Sunday it does, because it could be the difference of winning your division, not making a wild card. I mean, it's getting fired, keeping your job.
Well, think about this. Think about the parity in the NFL. There's about 10 awful teams in baseball, 10 awful teams in the NBA. Take out New England. It's a bad football team. And I imagine the Giants are not going to be pretty. Carolina, I do think, will be much improved, and their schedule, boy, it's got some potential wins there. You got about 2 teams that I think feel kind of hopeless. I think the Raiders are talented. I just don't know rookie coach Gardner Minshew. So let's say 3 teams that it could be pretty scrappy. But I mean, if Minnesota is a 4th place team, I think they have one of the best young coaches, one of the best left tackles, the best wide receiver, a top back, a top tight end, edge rushers better than you think. That's a 4th place team. A 4th, 5th place team in baseball or the NBA, like Detroit, is not even shit. They can't score. Nobody can shoot. They have no shooters.
I think the thing you forget about Minnesota, they added an edge rusher. They also drafted one. Remember, they had 2 first-round picks, JJ and the kid from Alabama. So yeah, I just think anytime, and you've been around football your whole life, it's unlike any of these other sports. And to do it over a long period of time, you've just been humbled so many times, even if you're Tom. I mean, Tom's had some of the most historic losses in league history, right? Lost to the Giants twice. I mean, those are he had an undefeated team in the Super Bowl. So for all his 28-3, they did not lose a game. And a lot of those were not close. And then Eli got him again. And then the Eagles with Nick freaking Foles beat him when he threw for 500 yards. So, yeah, I just think he's a unique character, and the communication, which clearly resonates and comes through when he sits down with you. I just think it's cool. Obviously got a lot of money, but he's got a lot of money already. It's pretty cool that he wants to do this. I just think that we don't get very often, like, is LeBron ever calling a game on one of these networks one day? No chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just,
right.
And is Patrick Mahomes? Probably not. So I think it's It's going to be a very, very cool experience. And like everything, and it comes through when he's talking to you, he takes this shit very seriously because he takes everything very seriously.
Yeah.